On the 22nd of October, 2025, the UK government made a bold announcement that could fundamentally reshape retirement as we know it. Collective defined contribution pension schemes, often referred to simply as CDCs, have now been officially approved. This is not a minor adjustment or a quiet reform. It is a transformative step that could see retirement incomes rise by as much as 60% compared with traditional pension arrangements. For anyone in their 50s or older who has spent decades building up a pension, this represents a profound opportunity to secure a more stable, reliable, and potentially higher income in retirement. The concept is straightforward yet revolutionary. Traditional defined contribution schemes mean that each person has an individual pot of money, and their retirement income depends entirely on how that pot performs. The risk is entirely personal. A market slump or a longer than expected lifespan can drastically reduce income, leaving many retirees worrying about whether their savings will last. Collective defined contribution schemes, however, operate on a very different principle. They pool funds across a large group of members. Risks are shared, not borne individually. Investment fluctuations, longevity concerns, and even economic uncertainty are spread across the collective. That pooling mechanism alone can deliver a more stable and predictable income, while still providing the potential for higher returns over time. This approval is accompanied by new regulations that allow unconnected multiple employers to participate. This means that it is no longer just large, single-employer schemes that can offer CDCs. A range of businesses, even those with no direct connection, can join together to offer a single collective pension fund. This scale is critical. The larger the pool of members, the more predictable the outcomes and the more efficient the investments. The government has carefully designed these regulations with robust oversight, requiring trustees and scheme managers to be fit, proper, and financially sound. Governance is strict, and authorization will only be granted to those who can demonstrate that the scheme is sustainable and well managed. This is not a lightly regulated experiment. This is a carefully thought-out framework intended to protect savers while unlocking the advantages of collective investment. For someone in their 50s, the implications are tangible. Imagine Anne, aged 52, who has been contributing to a standard defined contribution scheme for many years. She worries about market volatility, the uncertainty of income, and whether her pot will last as long as she needs it to. With the arrival of a CDC option, she could have access to a scheme that shares these risks across thousands of members. Her retirement income may not be fixed to the penny, but it will be more stable and potentially higher than her individual pot would provide on its own. She could enjoy the peace of mind that comes with knowing her income is designed to last for the long term, not just until her personal pot runs out. Consider Michael, aged 58, who is just a few years away from retirement. He has saved diligently, but like many approaching this stage of life, he is concerned about outliving his savings. A CDC pension could offer him sustainability. By pooling resources and risks with others, he could receive a reliable long-term income that is resilient to market volatility and longevity risks. For someone like Michael, this is not a minor improvement. It could genuinely transform how comfortable and secure his retirement is, allowing him to plan with confidence rather than anxiety. The timing of this move is significant. The regulations are expected to come into force on the 31st of July 2026. This gives pension providers time to apply for authorization and set up schemes properly. Large-scale examples are already emerging. The Royal Mail Collective Pension Plan, launched in 2024, now serves over 100,000 members and demonstrates the practical benefits of collective schemes. It combines a lump sum with regular income, offering both flexibility and stability. This shows that collective pensions are not just theoretical, they are operational and delivering results for real people today. The wider economic rationale for CDCs is also compelling. By pooling funds and spreading risk, these schemes can invest with a longer horizon and in areas that traditional pensions may shy away from. Infrastructure projects, renewable energy, and UK startups become viable investments because the collective approach allows for patient capital. This is a win-win scenario. Pension members potentially benefit from higher returns and stability, while the UK economy benefits from sustained long-term investment. This is a strategic shift that aligns private savings with national economic growth, something that has rarely been achieved in previous pension reforms. While the benefits are substantial, it is important to understand the trade-offs. CDC pensions offer targeted, rather than guaranteed, income. Market downturns or unforeseen economic events could still affect payouts. However, these schemes are designed to smooth out the highs and lows over time. By pooling risk, CDCs aim to create more consistent, reliable retirement incomes, reducing the stress and unpredictability associated with individual pots. The key is that stability comes not from guarantees, but from the sheer scale and shared responsibility of the collective approach. The government's reforms do not stop with CDCs. They signal a wider push toward consolidation and efficiency within the pension industry. Smaller schemes may be encouraged to merge into larger funds by the end of the decade, creating mega funds with tens of billions of pounds in assets. The logic is simple. Larger pools allow for better risk management, more robust governance, and more effective long-term investment. This could result in a pension system that is not only more stable for individuals, but more influential and productive for the broader economy. The scale and scope of these reforms also create opportunities for existing pension savers. Those who are still contributing should explore whether their employers or pension providers are considering CDC schemes. When the new regulations take effect, many may face choices about whether to join these collective funds. For retirees or those nearing retirement, the development of retirement CDC schemes will be especially relevant. These schemes are designed specifically for decumulation, converting pension savings into sustainable income, and could become a central component of retirement planning in the UK over the next decade. Personal stories illustrate the potential impact vividly. A person who has spent 30 years contributing to a pension might currently face a retirement income that feels insufficient to cover rising living costs, healthcare expenses, and the simple desire for a comfortable lifestyle. A CDC scheme, by contrast, offers a more resilient income stream, one that is less vulnerable to the sudden shocks of financial markets and demographic shifts. For people in their 50s or older, this could mean the difference between worrying about outliving their savings and being able to plan a fulfilling retirement. There is also a psychological benefit to collective schemes. Retirement can be a stressful period, particularly when income is uncertain. Knowing that your pension income is part of a larger, managed pool reduces individual anxiety and allows retirees to focus on life beyond work. For many, this emotional reassurance is as valuable as the financial gains themselves. It is a shift in mindset, moving from isolated risk-bearing to shared security and community-focused financial planning. Looking further ahead, the approval of collective pensions represents a profound shift in the philosophy of retirement in the UK. It marks a movement away from purely individual responsibility toward a model that recognizes the advantages of collaboration and shared risk. This could set a precedent for other areas of financial planning and social policy, demonstrating that pooling resources and responsibilities can yield better outcomes for large groups of people. These changes are timely and urgent. With increasing life expectancy and the rising costs of living, traditional pension arrangements are under pressure. Many people in their 50s and 60s are already feeling the strain, uncertain whether their savings will support them through an extended retirement. CDC schemes offer a practical, evidence-based solution to this challenge, blending innovation with proven financial principles. They are not a panacea, but they represent a major step forward in securing financial stability for a growing segment of the population. For anyone watching this who is 50 or older, there is a clear message. Pay attention to these developments. Engage with your pension provider, explore whether CDC options will be available, and understand how these collective schemes could impact your retirement plans. The next year and a half will be critical as providers prepare for authorization and implementation. Being informed now will position you to make the best decisions for your future, potentially unlocking more secure and sustainable income streams than traditional pension arrangements have ever offered. This is not a small policy tweak or a quiet adjustment to pension law. It is a revolution in how retirement is structured, how risk is shared, and how income is delivered. The approval of collective schemes, the planned regulations for unconnected, multiple employer participation, and the strategic focus on long-term investment all signal a new era for UK pensions. For those approaching retirement, and for those already there, this represents hope, opportunity, and a chance to enjoy a retirement that is financially more secure, less stressful, and more rewarding. Staying informed is now more important than ever. The landscape of UK pensions is changing in a way that could touch every saver, particularly those over 50. Understanding CDCs, following the implementation of new regulations, and making informed choices will be key to taking full advantage of this revolution. Collective defined contribution pensions offer more than just financial benefits. They offer peace of mind, resilience, and the possibility of a retirement lived with confidence and security. This is a momentous change, one that could reshape retirement planning for decades to come, offering the potential for higher, steadier, and more sustainable income when it is most needed.